Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you the fragrances that I wore for the week. Now I have some amazing ones to share with you, but before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button, join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. So the first fragrance that I wore was Modeste 2 by Afnan. I've talked about this one quite a lot recently, but seriously, I am in love with this. Now, for whatever reason, it's very similar to La Nuit Trésor by Lancôme, but like a fraction of the price. So the price is fantastic, but I actually prefer it over La Nuit Trésor. So La Nuit Trésor is beautiful. This is very similar, but I like this one just a bit more. And I think the reason why is because it gets a little bit spicier in the dry down. So, you know, it's very similar, but there are some differences in this one. So this one has strawberry, raspberry, and cherry for fruit notes, which, like, I love it. Like, I just love the smell of those juicy kind of red fruits in there. But this also has chocolate in it. There's spices, vanilla, there's patchouli and musk, and then there's some gardenia in here. Now, for the most part, this smells like a fruity gourmand to me. I get the chocolatey, fruity vibe, but then as it dries down, I really get those spices coming out. Now, I don't find that this is super long lasting, like it's about 5 hours, but the projection is beautiful. You know, it's something that's perfect for date night. Personally, I just like wearing it whenever, because I just like smelling like this. Like it's so delicious. Now, a few of you have purchased this and you, like I haven't heard any negative comments about this one yet. So if you want something that's kind of date night, you like those fruity gourmands, kind of a chocolatey fruit, spicy fragrance. If you like something like La Nuit Trésor, but you haven't bought it because of the price tag, definitely consider getting your hands on Modeste 2 because I think it's like $30. So great price and such a pretty fragrance. So, and definitely like I compared La Nuit Trésor to Modeste 2 and let my husband smell both of them. And he honestly didn't think that they smelt the same and he preferred Modeste 2. So it's a great one. The next fragrance that I haven't talked about in a long time, and I see that the bottle is extremely scratched up for some reason. I think it's because my kid took it. Like my kid sometimes likes to take my fragrances and they end up in his backpack or rolling around in the car or some weird place. So this bottle is pretty beat up, but it is Rich, Warm, Addictive by Zara. Now, if you want a delicious, sexy, not long-lasting fragrance, because this thing doesn't last at all, you've got to try this. You've got to go smell it. If you haven't smelled it, you need to smell it. It's categorized as a men's fragrance, but I'm telling you, this is delicious on a woman. It would be fine on a guy, but personally, I find it a little bit feminine. It's sweet. There's kind of a honey feel. I don't get a whole lot of tobacco. What I get is kind of a honeyed rum feel with a hint of like vanilla or coconut. This is the older version, but I just absolutely love it. So you got to try it. The only thing about this one is it doesn't last for long. So you're going to get like 3 hours if you're lucky out of it, but the projection is amazing to begin with. So if you're going out for a little while, you want to smell like so edible. This is a great one to put on. You can always spray more, like make a decant and spray more. What I really enjoy wearing this one for is bedtime. Like I love the way it smells. I feel like I smell luscious. And yeah, really enjoy this fragrance. So Rich, Warm, Addictive by Zara. Have you tried it? If you have, weigh in. If you haven't, like this is again super affordable, such a great fragrance, like so good, like yummy. You've got to try it. And just so you guys know, when I say you've got to try it, I don't mean you have to go buy it. Go find it in store or, you know, try to get a decant or something like that. You know, for the most part, I don't really like blind buying because it never really goes well. Like every once in a while it does and it's a super rush. Lots of people do it and they enjoy doing it. I personally don't like it. However, you know, this was a blind buy. Actually, this was a blind buy too. So these were blind buys for me that were major successes. But if you can go in store and smell them, so this a lot of times you can find in store. This you can't. But anyway, when I say go sniff it, I don't mean just run out and buy it. Try to sniff it before you buy. Now, the next fragrance I tried was Boucheron's Quatre en Rose. Now, I have the original Quatre. It's a beautiful kind of slightly sweet aquatic rose. So there's, I think, a little bit of bergamot in there. It smells very refreshing. It's very classy, just a beautiful fragrance and so amazing, especially for spring and summer. Like I put it away for the winter, but spring and summer, it really, really shines. Quatre en Rose, I smell a tiny bit of the original DNA just in the fact that this has a bit of bergamot in it. Other than that, it's kind of a departure and it smells a lot like Armani's C. So if you like C, this one smells similar. In fact, there's lots of reviews that say it smells like practically identical. I haven't smelt the original C in a while. I do know that whenever I've tried the original C, I'm not a huge fan of it. Whereas this one I really, really enjoyed. So I don't know what the difference might be in them. But I really, really like this one. So it's very, very sweet. It's got artemisia in it. It's got the rose. It's got some peach blossom and jasmine. So it's very, very pretty. I'm almost tempted to buy it. That said, it is still like C, and I have Elizabeth Arden's Always Forever, which smells very, very similar to this as well. So it's kind of that same DNA. So I probably would hold off on this, although I found this one to be longer lasting than the Forever Always by Elizabeth Arden. So if you are in the market for a fragrance like C, but you don't want to spend the money, check out Quatre en Rose because it's very similar and I believe it's more affordable. And then as well, Always Forever by Elizabeth Arden is very, very similar. And apparently Always is even more similar to C. By Elizabeth Arden. So I'll have all of those linked down below just so that you can take a look at them. Go on Fragrantica and look at the differences between them. But they all have a very, very similar scent profile, but for vastly different price points. So check it out. Two fragrances I'm going to talk about are L'Interdit Rouge and just the regular old L'Interdit by Givenchy. So wore this for an evening out with my friend. It's so spicy. It's so sensual. It's delicious. Like there's ginger and orange in there, which gives it kind of a little bit of a spicy kick. There's some pimento leaf in here. You still get the tuberose in here. There's also jasmine, and then there's sandalwood. I think there's patchouli in here, maybe some vetiver as well. So it smells a little bit dry, like the woods in there feel a little bit dry. The ginger and the pimento smells kind of spicy. And I think it's an absolutely beautiful fragrance. Very, very like uber sexy. Now, this one, it's the original Eau de Parfum. Now this one, I would say is less sexy. So you lose the spiciness, you lose the woodiness. And what you get in this one is more of a bubblegum tuberose with some pear on the top. So there's a bit of freshness from that pear, juicy, sweet, and then that bubblegum tuberose. So this one is a gorgeous fragrance. It's super long lasting. Actually, both of these are crazy long lasting, crazy projectors, like major projectors. Like I always end up spraying more because I forget how potent these are, and then I feel like I choke everybody out. So if I put this on or this on, it's on for the whole entire day or evening. You know, there's no need to go back in. In fact, when I put one of these fragrances on, I like to put it on well before I go out because otherwise I'm scared I'm going to choke people out. So both of them are beautiful. I think if I had to choose a favorite, I would choose L'Interdit Rouge just because I feel like there's nothing quite like it on the market, whereas this one, there's lots of kind of bubblegummy tuberose type fragrances. That said, this is a beautiful, beautiful option. And this to me as well could be a signature fragrance. It's very classy, but it's also kind of juicy and vibrant, like kind of vivacious. It's an extroverted fragrance for sure. This one is mysterious and sensual. This one is like an extroverted, bubbly type person. Like, you know, I just think of almost like a Legally Blonde, where she's actually got a lot going on in there, but she comes across almost airheady because she's so bubbly and happy. That's kind of this fragrance. So really beautiful. Super classy. Definitely don't like to wear it in super high heat because it makes me sick. But it is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. Not for everybody though, because of that tuberose. Now the last fragrance I tried was David Yurman EDP. So this one, I'm not even quite sure where this sample came from. Whoever sent it to me, thank you very much. I also don't know where you find this, the EDP. I don't know, maybe it's not available. It's a really interesting fragrance. It smells a little bit old school. It smells like, so you know how Possessoir, it's kind of a fruity floral, very feminine, would be great for a signature fragrance, and it's very current for now. This smells kind of similar, but like it would have been current about 15, 20 years ago. I think this was released in the early 2000s, so that makes sense to me, but it's in that same genre where it's a beautiful kind of fruity, sweet floral. I can see that this was ahead of its time. So this is certainly something that it doesn't smell dated or mature, but it's just like kind of a more dated take than something like a Possessoir, but they're very similar. So like not that they smell the same, but kind of that scent profile with the fruity, sweet floral. So this would make a beautiful signature fragrance. It's beautifully feminine, really long lasting. Like it lasted a long, long time on the skin and projected well. Like I could smell my scent bubble literally all morning with this on. So it's a very interesting fragrance. It's got black currant in it, which is what's giving it that, you know, juiciness. There's peony and rose. I love a peony and rose combination. Like I just think it's so beautiful. It's so feminine. This is definitely more peony-esque. So I smell the rose, but it's not near as strong as that peony. It has musk, patchouli, lotus, and orange as well. So yeah, somehow it gives me the same sort of vibe as a Possessoir. So if you like that kind of scent profile and can get your hands on a sample of the David Yurman EDP, like if you guys know where to get it, put it in the comments. But I was having a really hard time being able to kind of find it anywhere. So maybe it's just out right now, or maybe it's just so discontinued that it's not available and completely irrelevant then. But anyway, it was really fun to try it. If you've tried David Yurman EDP, please weigh in and tell me what you think of it, because yeah, it was really a neat wear. So out of all of these, I would say that my favorite fragrance for the week is still Modest Deux. And as I thought about this one, I feel like the scent profile that I'm loving the most is that rose fruit combination with a little bit of gourmand, like caramel or chocolate. So this one is fruit with rose and chocolate with some spices. L'Extase is raspberry, rose, and caramel. And to me, they feel really, really similar in a way, as far as, yeah, somehow they give off a similar vibe. I literally can't get enough of it. Like I'm here for that scent profile. So the fruit rose gourmand quality. Like I can't get enough of it. Like I literally can't get enough of it. What about you guys? What is the scent profile that you just can't get enough of right now? Like, is it a full-on floral? Is it a gourmand? Is it some sort of sexy fragrance? Like, what are you just so craving these days? I would love to know. For me, it's the fruit rose gourmand quality. I cannot get enough of it these days. Like I could just literally soak myself in it and not wear anything else. So anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing week and we'll talk to you soon.